I think the interesting paradox is that even though Israel believes that the whole world almost is against the Gaza war, and for sure, there's a huge consensus against the degree of brutality that was applied and the length of it and suspicion of the government, all that is true. But there's almost consensual support for the actual goals of returning the hostages and eliminating Hamas as a military and a governing force in Gaza, which is, as I've said many times in this studio, a favor primarily to the poor people of Gaza, whom Hamas has hijacked and who are oppressed by Hamas. So the question is whether Israel can achieve this second goal at this point without resuming the war and the brutality and the methods that were so disdained. What methods are there? The fundamental problem with the Trump plan is that even though Israel agreed to it in the most public and vehement manner possible with Netanyahu and Trump at the White House, the press conference, Hamas never did. I didn't really hear them agreeing to it, to all the terms. I never heard them say, yes, we're going to disarm.
They never did.
No. And so this idea that Hamas agreed to this is a little bit wishful thinking and Trumpian premature declarations of victory. So Israel got back the hostages, and that's wonderful. And at this point, if Netanyahu suffices with what happened, which is hostages for end of war, that's a deal he could have had a year ago or more, maybe even 2 years ago. And it's looking like the rest of the war was for not very much. You could argue about Hezbollah's successes, the Iran success, but it's politically difficult for him, and it's a strategic danger for Israel, leaving Hamas in charge there. What levers can be applied is an open question. Mm-hmm. I would like to see a conference, not like the fake one in Sharm el-Sheikh when they agreed to the plan, but a real one, including Qatar and Turkey, and Egypt, and the European Union, and the Arab League, and NATO, and the Americans, and whoever else wants to come, explaining that no reconstruction of any kind will occur in the areas of Gaza, the roughly half of Gaza, not two-thirds, half of Gaza, that is controlled by Hamas, where 90% of the people leave. Now, humanitarian aid has to go in because it would be immoral, illegal not to. And that's a problem also because Hamas hijacks part of it, taxes a lot of it, and uses it for rebuilding. This is a terrible, horrible situation. And there is a temptation to say, look, maybe we separate the Palestinians in the interior, Hamas-controlled interior, from Hamas by inviting them to the perimeter and building temporary towns for them there or whatever, having the reconstruction be there. To my mind, that is very legitimate and potentially useful because if enough of them come, then resuming the war against Hamas will kill fewer people. The problem is, as a general said, Hamas may try to prevent them from moving. That is a bridge we should cross when we get to it. Solutions do exist.
Some of these